Hi, welcome to the Daughter Arise channel. My name is Yvonne and this channel is all about bringing you content about childhood sexual abuse. On this channel I share things to do with my experience of going through this childhood trauma. I also share news stories and add my thoughts and commentary to them, and from time to time, when I'm fortunate enough, I interview other survivors and their supporters in hopes of raising awareness of this childhood trauma. So if this is the type of content you're looking for, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And if you do like the content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. So today I want to share with you a news story that I came across in the Daily Mail, and it is about a gypsy who raped a 12-year-old girl and left her pregnant with twins. And basically in this story he was acquitted by a Spanish court because their relationship is part of their cultural reality of their community. So I'm just going to share with you some of the story, and I will leave a link to it in the description box below. So it says a Spanish court has acquitted a man who raped a 12-year-old girl after it was ruled that their relations were just part of the Romani culture. The court in Ciudad Real in central Spain took into account the social culture of the Gypsy ethnic group to reduce the sentence for sexual assault and abuse of a minor by a 20-year-old man. This resulted in the perpetrator, who left the 12-year-old girl pregnant with twins, being acquitted. The ruling held that the relationship was always consensual within the framework of a romantic relationship, adding that the two were close in age and maturity. The girl was first found to be pregnant after an examination by a doctor who alerted the authorities, which led to the man's arrest. Prosecutors had asked for a sentence of 11 years, but the court ruled to acquit. The age of consent in Spain is 16, meaning anyone younger cannot consent to sex. However, the court ruled that the man should benefit from the legal exception. The acquittal is the latest in a series of rulings in which judges take into consideration customs followed by some of Spain's Roma population when dealing with cases of sexual assault of minors. In another case ruling, the Provincial Court of Leon reduced a sentence for a gypsy man who was found guilty of sexually assaulting a minor. Although the unnamed man impregnated her 3 times when she was between the ages of 12 and 15, the court concluded that in gypsy culture, couple unions occur at very early ages, a circumstance that acted as a mitigating factor. In that case, he was sentenced to 11 years. Beatriz Carrello, the Director of General Non-Discrimination and Anti-Racism within Spain's Equality Ministry, called the court in Leon's ruling shameful. Even more so, she said, the ruling is alluding to an alleged non-existent custom to mitigate the sentence. The penal code does not exclude the protection of gypsy minors. Otherwise, it would be defending that abusing, attacking and raping gypsy girls has few legal consequences, she wrote. So I will leave a link to this story below, but I just feel it's disgusting that this young girl was let down by the justice system. There is a reason why there is a law in each country, a law that stipulates that in Spain the age of consent is 16 years old. Now the argument that he's given for mitigating factors, being that they're from this Romani community and they have different customs, does not hold up, I'm afraid. That young girl is going to be scarred by what has happened to her, because we didn't hear nothing in the story about her saying it was a consensual relationship. What we saw was the power dynamic of an older man, which is meant to be her stepdad, and her as a younger girl. And I'm just guessing here, because it is a secret community and they don't like outsiders getting involved in their business, you know, I can bet that that young girl was probably put under a lot of pressure to, you know, not make a big deal of it and not to follow through with anything, and just to say that yes, it was a consensual relationship. The law of the land in Spain is 16 years old for consensual relationship. So what is this judge actually saying? Does this give a green light to paedophiles to, you know, infiltrate these types of communities? Because you get paedophiles from all walks of life. obviously you can get paedophiles from the Romani community, just the same way you can get paedophiles in the black community or the white community or the Jewish community. And I know from my experience of supporting childhood sexual abuse survivors over the last 12 years, from many different religions, cultures and backgrounds, those who are being sexually abused in secretive communities have a very hard time in order to speak out. They never can just freely speak out. They never have the support to be able to do that. As a matter of fact, they are kind of made to feel shame for wanting to speak out about something. And as that lady said, there is no evidence that this is something that is kind of a normal thing within the community. It brings it all back actually for me when I took part in the independent inquiry into childhood sexual abuse about 4 or 5 years ago now, and I was involved in different parts of that. I took part in the interviews, I went to the kind of workshops and different things that were going on, and it was all about giving voice to those who were in institutions and communities that shunned their abuse, that kept it hidden. And it's really interesting because I was looking back on some information about that, and one of the communities that the independent inquiry into childhood sexual abuse wanted to infiltrate, wanted to get to understand about the victims in that community, was the Gypsy community. And they had a few that came forward, and I'll share this little excerpt of an article from a lady called Natalia in the Gypsy community, who gives voice to some of those experiences. Natalia, who is from the Gypsy Roma and traveller community, had a strict upbringing, separated from boys and sexually abused by her stepfather when her mother and father separated. Once, when she was about 15, Natalia ran away and was found by a teacher. She told the teacher about the abuse she was suffering, but the teacher did not take any action and she was returned home. Natalia now thinks that the teacher may have been afraid of possible repercussions, as Natalia's family was well known. So as you can see from her own experience, it wasn't consensual, and I'm willing to guess that for many girls and boys within this community, their experiences are the same as well. They have little voice, they have little power in order to, voice their experiences. It is just accepted as normal for them to go through this. The law, which is supposed to protect the innocent and protect children, still find a way to make it okay for paedophiles, because that's exactly what he is, to be able to get away with such an atrocious act. So that is it for this video. Until the next one, I will leave a link to the story below. Take care.